So this right here is slip. It's a mixture of clay and water. We have some already made, and you can make your own. You could just combine clay and water yourself, but I also have this dry clay bin that is filled with with old clay combined with water. Yeah, it's not dry anymore because the water is soaking it all up. So we can just put our slip container in there and get slip from the dry clay bin, and this will work as our glue. So to know if we are ready to put our front and back piece onto our base, they do have to be leather hard. So that means when you hold it up, it will not bend to the front or back at all. So it's not bending, so it's perfect to go ahead and use and put on. After this, I need to keep this super, super wet. So the only time we needed to dry it out slightly was for this step. After this, we're going to need to spray it and double bag it every single day, okay? So you can either put it around your base like this or right on top of your base. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on my base. So I'll start with this one. And you have two options. You can either use a needle tool to do the scoring, or you can just use this side of the rib. Yeah, thank you. So we want to do score lines, and I don't have enough ribs, so some of you will just need to use the needle tools, but it is quicker to use a rib. Okay, and I just want to make like a cross hatch pattern, and I'm going to do that on both sides. So I also need to do that here, so I'm going to mark a line on my base to know how much scoring I need to do, and then I will score on here as well. Okay, and it will get a little messy, but we'll fix that. And now I'm going to add the slip to both sides, and I have to work kind of fast because we don't want it to dry. And I'll do this side as well. All right, and if it looks messy, like I said, we're gonna fix it. So now, this is the part that a lot of people mess up on because everyone can kind of figure out how to do the scoring and slipping, but they don't know how to actually make it stay, and that's because they're not using enough pressure and they're not holding it on for as long as they should. So I'm gonna hold it on for a good minute, and I'm using a lot of pressure to make sure it's secure. And then once I do that, I can seal the front and back and take off any of that excess slip. So I can do that with a finger or this wooden tool, which is called a modeling tool, and you'll just find that on that table with all the other smaller tools. Alright. Okay, so now I'm going to seal the inside as well. So I'm using the modeling tool, taking off all this excess slip. I can just put it right back into my slip container. And I need to make sure that I put the front and back piece on first, and then the left and right side need to stay very damp so that I can bend it around these pieces. If it's way too dry, you're not going to be able to bend it. It will start cracking. So that's the reason these need to stay kind of dry and those need to stay more damp so that these can kind of hold themselves up. Does that make sense? Any questions on this? Okay, I feel like you guys are good to go ahead and get started then. You can stop the video.